Simon Told Helen wins a half length. Zach Benelli second.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip.
Peaky Blinders start cheering for Tommy Shelby wins the WA Sprint Championship final.
Featuring Peter O'Neill and Leia Ernest.
Mozza moves up to Mermaid Manelli. Fab's Gem 3 deep. Here comes Fab's Gem.
Hard Style Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen. Third Tommy Shelby.
This segment is dedicated to the discussion and promotion of greyhound racing.
Cindy's Oliver, Rockstar Patriot, Paul Stewart, back-to-back with Rockstar Patriot in the Galaxy.
Handsome Prince, a boulder clear. The former Tasmanian Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
And a very good morning, everyone tuned in to Greyhound Gossip this Monday. It is 9:06 a.m. And, of course, a very good morning to you, Peter O'Neill.
Leia, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Big weekend of greyhound racing, both here in Western Australia and also on the East Coast.
Yes, and we'll kick off with Western Australia. Pete, we saw the series stayers final on the weekend. Couch Surfer came up successful for Chris Hulse and Linda Britton, who also took out the WA bred Canning final with Western Odi.
Yeah, Couch Surfer's flying, isn't he, at the moment? And he was well supported into $1.70 outright favourite, and he was far too good for his rivals. And a little bit later on in the program as well, we saw the clash of the brother and sister, of course, from the Tommy Shelby litter, trained by Chris Hulse himself in King Tommy and Flying Frida, and they're two very exciting pups on the rise.
Well, the Tommy Shelby litters have been doing fantastic recently, Pete. Tommy just keeps pumping out winners.
Yeah, he certainly does. Got a very good strike rate, and it'll be interesting to see how he actually goes. Steve Withers had a few winners over the weekend as well. It's a dime one for him later in the program, and on Friday night there was a very good card there as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but we're about to head across to Melbourne, Leia, and Corey Smith's about to join us to talk about the maturity final coming up on the weekend. Corey, Peter O'Neill and also Leia Ernest with you. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Long-time listener, first-time guest, I think. It's exciting to be on.
Yeah, good to have you on.
Corey, we had 2 heats of the Fireball and 8 heats of the Maturity Classic. We'll talk about the Maturity Classic first, and it's shaping up to be a pretty open affair.
Yeah, it's an absolute cracker. When we were doing the box draw live on Saturday night, I was trying to figure out who were the winners from the box draw and who were the losers, but it's just so wide open that it makes it nice and difficult. But that's what you want to see. When you have Group 1s of this sort of calibre, it's a race where you've seen the best of the sport win over many, many years, and to get a field of this calibre and a box draw that is this intriguing, this is the sort of stuff that we really want to see. Obviously, Baby JC is the headline act, but she draws box number 8, which to get across in this field with so much early speed down on the inside, it's going to be tough. But, yeah, it's an absolute ripping box draw, and I'm looking forward to an exciting night.
Well, I'm not sure if you're into AFL. You probably are, but it's sort of like when an AFL game and both the teams are just as competitive. It's so much more exciting to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. I'm a big AFL fan. It's like kind of watching Collingwood play, which I'm a biased supporter, but Collingwood are great to watch, and that's what this maturity kind of shapes up to be. It's a great to watch final, and yeah, there's plenty of pace drawn inside, plenty of pace drawn outside, and yeah, it's going to be hot going into that first turn.
Well, Collingwood's top of the ladder at the moment, I'm pretty sure. Have you got a tip for the maturity? I mean, I know you said it's a pretty open affair with both favourites currently with Tab Touch. We've got Box 1, New Wave 1 at $4.20, but then on the other end of the boxes in Box 8, we've got Baby JC also at $4.20, so equal favourites here with Tab Touch. If you were to have a bet, which way would you lean towards?
I'm still leaning towards Baby JC. She's the greyhound in this field that has been used to dealing with this sort of pressure. We've seen her in plenty of Group 1s. She's a Group 1 winner in the Sapphire Crown. She's placed in 3 other Group 1s as well. I think this is her 6th Group 1 final, which is just experience that you just can't buy going into a race like this. So I've got her on top. I think from the box draw, the other greyhounds that have drawn really nicely and Make No Promise in 3, Professor Snitch in 4, and New Wave 1 obviously getting the plum draw in the red. I think that's the way I'll be going. So my numbers are 8, 3, 4 and 1, but Baby JC on top for me. I just think she's got that experience that you just can't buy.
And what about in the Fireball, the Group 3, Ariane Bales come up with Box 1, currently $3.30 with Tab Touch untapped in Box 3 at $3, and the first reserve, Moraine Susie, hoping for runs currently at $4.
Yeah, that's another cracker. Obviously, we were a little underwhelmed with the amount of nominations that we had, but the nominations that we got turned into a really nice couple of heats and into an even better final. So it's a really interesting one. There's plenty of speed in 2 and 3. Untapped likes to use a little bit of the track, so Sunnyside Zeus should get it his own way on the inside there, but he will be copping a little bit of pressure. You've got Alfie Moon, who's going to be pouring on the pressure at some point. Jarek Bale, the old boy, who I don't think you can really say any more about him. I've run out of words to describe how good his career's been, but I think I've got Untapped on top. I think the Sandown Cup winner from a couple of years ago, I think she can go out with an absolute bang here, and from box number 3, she should have plenty of room to move, with the 4 not being a real quick beginner. So Untapped on top for me.
We've just seen some outstanding racing up in Queensland with their rich prize money on offer, and you must be excited to see some of the stars that will be coming to Melbourne next month in the Nationals, with the Meadows holding the Nationals this year.
Yeah, how good was the Winter Carnival up in Queensland? It needs a massive round of applause for everyone involved up there. They did a fantastic job. It's as good a carnival of racing that I've seen, and we saw 29 Victorians head up there for the Brisbane Cup. So hopefully we get some of their big stars coming down for the Nationals, and we can kind of reciprocate that. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of good racing all around Australia and New Zealand as well. We've seen Postman Pat come over and create quite a fuss, but that just goes to show that New Zealand racers can step up over here and shape up to the big time. So that'll be good, and he's obviously eligible for the Victorian legs, and I think Jason Thompson's made it known that it suits his scheduling for Postman Pat to go through the Victorian heats. So it'll be interesting to see who gets through. It's going to be nice and contested, and the Nationals always is. It's such a high calibre race, and everyone wants to win it for bragging rights.
They certainly do. There'll be obviously 2 West Australians coming across, and a lot of West Australian people coming across as well. What can they expect this year? Because not only do we have the finals of the sprint and the distance at the Meadows Saturday night, but earlier on in the day we have the straight race nationals as well at Healesville.
Yeah, exactly right. So there's 4 straight tracks in Australia. You've got Healesville, obviously, in Victoria. You've got Murray Bridge in South Australia, Capalaba in Queensland, and Richmond in New South Wales. So there'll be 2 competitors from each of those states. The state finals will come to Healesville and compete up the straight, which will be an absolute ripper. We saw Shall Not get rolled on debut at Healesville yesterday during the day, who came down from New South Wales, and I think will be targeting the National Straight Track Championship. So it'll be interesting whether that greyhound still keeps coming down for it, or we see someone else compete. But that's going to be an absolute ripper over the straight course as well.
And, of course, there'll be lots of entertainment off the track as well, so we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to the world's richest greyhound races. Well, the 8 slots for the Phoenix, $1.65 million in prize money, $1 million to the winner. It's coming up on the 16th of December this year. You must be excited that that's coming around so quickly as well.
Yeah, we're certainly warming into our big races now, and the Phoenix is hotting up as well, because the slots will open as of Monday. So there'll be 5 weeks until the 1st of September for everyone to get their slot applications in. And if it's anything like the last couple of years, they'll be hotly contested, and we'll get a really nice mixture of businesses and individuals and syndicates and participants as well. So I'm really excited for it. I'm obviously an unabashed fan of the Phoenix. I think for what it does for greyhound racing, not only in Victoria but all around Australia, is massive, and I think it's only going to get bigger and better. So I'm hoping we see a massive crowd on Saturday the 16th of December.
Well, we had our first slot race this year, the Sandgroper, which you came across for, and that was really, really exciting, and everyone tells me that you have to get to a Phoenix. So tell us what's so different about it, and have you ever seen the media coverage that a greyhound race has ever received before, like you saw last year?
Yeah, obviously I'm in the bubble, so I'm, again, probably a little bit biased, but I don't think I have seen anything like the media coverage that the Phoenix provides. I loved the WA trilogy. As you said, I got over there for it, and I think slot racing just offers a different sort of aspect of greyhound racing, and particularly for the Phoenix, we get a different demographic of people. The age groups are a little bit younger. We get people that get really excited about it, and it's almost tribal, to be honest, with the way that the slots, everyone dresses up in their colours. You see blue sports bet and green TAB and all that sort of stuff last year. So, it's almost like you go to a soccer match, and the atmosphere is just unbelievable. So hopefully we can continue that and continue to grow on it, because, it's my favourite race night of the year, that's for sure.
And the slot applications open next Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, exactly right. That's when it all kicks off. All the applications will go out shortly. You can find some further terms and conditions on the phoenix.melbourne website. So if you want to head along to that to find out more or get in contact with the club, we'll talk you through it.
Fantastic, Corey. We're very much looking forward to it. A lot of money going into the Phoenix as well. And I think a lot of people who are generally not super involved in greyhound racing, I know many people have said, wow, a race that's worth over $1 million in greyhound racing, they're surprised. So people who are usually not interested actually come and watch and participate in the Phoenix. So it's great for, the advertising of the sport as well.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think that we hold the world's richest greyhound race, and obviously there's some other big prize money races, the Melbourne Cup at Sandown, and you've got the Brisbane Cup, which we just saw is worth over $1 million in total prize money, and obviously the $1 Million Chase too. So it's good to have these high caliber races and aspirational races because, as you said, Leia, they kind of cut through to a different audience, and people outside our regular bubble kind of look at it and go, wow, we can win $1 million from a smaller outlay than a thoroughbred sort of purchase. So hopefully it does bring new people into our sport, and these aspirational races continue to get bigger and better, and we can get more people into our sport.
Oh, it's great for involvement. And Corey, we appreciate your time today and your debut here on Greyhound Gossip. I'm sure it won't be the first. Thank you for coming on, and we look forward to chatting with you in the upcoming months.
Thank you very much, guys. And, of course, hopefully you come down. I know you're coming over for the Nationals, Pete, but hopefully you can both get over for the Phoenix and we can have a couple of beers together.
Good on you. Look forward to it. Thanks, Corey. Corey Smith joining us from the Meadows, the Melbourne Greyhound Racing Association. An exciting time with the Nationals just around the corner. The maturity this week and then into the Phoenix. Let's go to our next special guest. Lewis Clay's about to join us. He had a big weekend. Winners on Friday and Saturday. Barrio Beast was well supported and got the bickies in the final leg of the quaddie. And Lewis is joining us online this morning. Lewis, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Leia.
How are you?
Very well, yes. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Just before we get into your greyhounds, tell us about the recovery and how are you going? Are you getting a little bit more mobile now that you've had the operation on the leg, and how's it going?
Yeah, it's all coming along nicely and still just doing the physio work. So as long as I keep that up, I should get back to pretty much full mobility. So, yeah, it's all going well, and it's good to be back getting in the kennels and doing some work. Was it hard? The fact that you were sort of weren't at full, you didn't have the mobility that you would want to when you've got the greyhounds and so forth, or was it easy enough because of the team you've got behind you? I've been very lucky with the team I got behind me. You can put all your trust into them, and I didn't have to do too much for 4 to 6 weeks. I could just roll out there, call the shots, and walk back inside. But no, it kind of killed me though, because I love working and I love doing the dog. So it was killing me not being out there and doing it. So it is very good to be back.
Tell us about the win of Barrio Beast on Saturday night. He was dropping back from Free For All Company, where he'd been very, very good behind Honestly Too and Granite Song at his previous 2 starts.
Yeah, no, it was a good win. It was a tough win. He had to work really hard to get over, especially from box 6. So it was good to see him get back in the winners list as well. We've had a few dramas with him and had to drop him back to 380 for a little bit and got him back. And he's in a really good spot at the moment. He's full of confidence. So yeah, hopefully he can just keep it up. And he does need a lead to win races. So if he keeps jumping the way he is, he's still going to be competitive in the free fallers, I think. Yeah, so does he step back up to free fall now after winning that race there on Saturday? Yeah, he's back to a city grade 4, so I can imagine he'll be in the free fall next week. All right, you had a good night on Friday night as well. Gee whiz, Wells of Silence, he's flying, isn't he? What do you think's his pet distance? Because he was showing some really quick times over the 275 metres and then stepped up and ran a really quick time again there on Friday night over the 380. It's a good question. The owner bought him to run him at Mandurah and then forgot that Mandurah was shut. So we kind of only put him over the 275 was at the start. He didn't get his confidence right up on that quarter start and he was getting chopped out, and we said, well, let's put him on the straight start, and then he put up some sizzling time, so I left him there for a little bit longer. I do believe the 380 is his pet distance. But yeah, he's obviously on the straight start over the 275. It helps him because he needs 30 or 40 metres to just turn a foot. But I do think the 380 and when Mandurah opens, the 400 will be right up his alley.
There's talk, and I'm not sure a decision hasn't been made yet, but there is talk that the Sandgroper next year will be run at Mandurah, and there's a possibility that it will be run over 400 metres. That must excite a trainer like yourself that has a slick greyhound that's so speedy like Wells of Silence.
Oh, wow, that's news to me. Yeah, well, that's good.
It hasn't been confirmed, but there is talk.
Yeah, well, it would be right up his alley, the 405 or the 400. So, yeah, it would be pretty exciting to be in a race like that and run for some big money over 400 metres. I've got a lot of 400 metre dogs, so yeah, that would be very, very nice.
Oh, Pete, you've made his day by sharing that news.
Well,
the unconfirmed news.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not over 400 metres. Sorry, Lewis. I'd love to see it over 520 metres still, but anything could happen. And if we're racing down at Mandurah, well, I cannot see us starting a slot race over 490 metres on a bend. So you either go to the 400, drop it back to the 400, or you go up to the 600 and whatever that new distance is going to be. But anyway, that's still to come. How many greyhounds do you have in work at the moment, Lewis, and what would be the best of them in your opinion?
Well, I've got 15 at the moment. It's a nice little small team, just ticking over. But probably, the best in the kennel sprint-wise would probably have to be, Wells of Silence. And Launch Control is a very handy dog as well. But probably, you move up, you got Barrio Beats, it's really good at 400, and Corborn Rose is ticking over nicely. She's starting to settle in as well, and she's been a great addition to the kennels, and she looks like she's pretty promising. She'll knock around in the stayers races for the next 6 to 9 months, so that's pretty exciting.
Lewis, we had the second ever Chase the Dream last year with 20 lucky participants winning a share in a Tommy Shelby pup out of Weston Holly. Erasmus Duke is his race name, but the owners do call him Young Tommy. And it was about 4 months ago that he moved into your kennels. How has he been going since with the training and trials?
He's getting there slowly. He's a bit of a slow learner, so he's learning. But he's ticking over, and he did put a couple of nice trials down early doors, and then he kind of faded out a little bit. But he just needs to work on his box manners, but I think give this dog a little bit more time and mature up a bit. I've given him a little bit of a break in the kennels and just freshen him up. So I'll be interested to see how he comes back this time, and hopefully we can have a bit of fun with him.
What's it been like for you having a greyhound with 20 brand new owners who've never had a greyhound before? Have you been asked lots of questions, or have you sort of been taking a step back with that? And I know Jodie Jennings is the syndicate manager. Have you been involved with the owners as much?
Jodie's been very good for me. She's very good at responding, and she's much quicker on Facebook than I am, so she only gets in front of me, which is good. But no, it is good to see the young people, and there was a few of them down there on a couple of Wednesdays ago when he quality trialled, and they were very, very excited. Even when you ran fifth, they were just happy to see him and give him a pat, and they were asking a few different questions that I don't normally get asked, but that's the sport, and it's good to see the young ones, and you've got young ones and older ones in the dog, and they're all enjoying it. So as long as they want to keep coming back, they're more than welcome.
Can we ever see you as a thoroughbred trainer? I saw that you were involved in the Dish Liquors Syndicate, who had a winner a couple of weeks ago, Written Melody, at Belmont Park.
I don't know about a trainer. I'm pretty happy being an owner. I'll let the other guys do their work. But no, it is good. I've been pretty lucky with my thoroughbreds. I've had a couple of nice ones, and looks like we got another handy one. It's pretty exciting when you win as an owner in the thoroughbreds as well as the greyhounds. It's a bit of a different feeling, so it was good to see her get up on the other Wednesday.
And have you been able to talk with Grant and Alana, and also obviously William Pike Road, her for you? Have you been able to run things past them or learn from what they do that you could maybe use in your training of greyhounds?
Oh, I haven't asked him too many questions, but I do see him on the occasions down the tracks and stuff like that, and we're pretty lucky we got a bit of common. Me and Grant, we both play golf, so I see him around the traps and have a little bit of a chat with him. So but it's good to be able to talk to your trainer and just have a laugh with him, and he can tell you how the horse is going, and I think that's what everyone wants as an owner, just to be able to talk to your trainer and get a little bit of the inside.
That's good that you can cross-code and have that excitement and have a winner first up. Hopefully there's plenty more for you. And also on the Greyhound track as well, Lewis, good to see you up and about and running around again. And also your Greyhounds are flying, so well done over the weekend. Continue winners for you this week.
Thank you very much.
So Lewis Clay joining us on Greyhound Gossip. And yes, Written Melody winning at Belmont a couple of weeks ago. A few of the Greyhound trainers in that syndicate.
Do you know who else? Which other trainers are in that syndicate?
There's quite a few of them. I know Shane Williams is. Maybe Michael Johnson. I think all the golfing.
Oh, the golf, yes.
Yeah, the rich ones, that have got time to actually go out and play golf.
Have you got a share on a horse, Pete?
I have, yes, but he's spelling at the moment.
Right, okay.
So, yeah. And my little pup got turned sideways, lucky to stay on his feet on Saturday night. So from going for the very good start early on, winning a couple of races early, now finding it tough that he needs an inside draw. So hopefully we'll get that this week.
That's Greyhound racing, isn't it, Pete?
It is, but it's exciting and it's good to be part of it. And it's going to be good to get up to Northam today, although I'm not heading up there. Jesse Earnshaw is. The first of 12 gets underway at 1:14 Leia, so a really good program up there this afternoon, and I'll be back up there again next week.
Fantastic. Thanks for your company this morning on Greyhound Gossip.